Are we recording?
Yeah.
Oh. No, you're good. Cool. Fire away, buddy.
And
Michael W. Kane, date of birth, October 6, 1958. I was born in Augusta, Maine.
Augusta. Oh, right. Oh, I didn't know that.
So, right, I was born in Augusta in October, and we moved here in January. So I was 3 months old when we moved to Attleboro. We moved to South Avenue, which is the house that Uncle Jim is in now.
Yeah.
So
is it the one? It's the TV room.
when I was an infant, I don't know. Probably downstairs. The rooms shifted around so much, so there was 8 of us, 8 kids,
Yeah.
Nan and Grampy. So yeah, you know the room where Uncle Jim sleeps now, upstairs.
Right.
So when you go up the stairs, you circle around to the left, and you go towards the front of the house.
Yeah. So it's kind of the furthest down the hall.
Yes, it's the
When you go upstairs,
so there's
yeah.
3 rooms. So there's that little room where all the books are, which was well, that's been a bunch of different things, but that's where the books are now. And then that middle room is where Uncle Jim sleeps, and the last room on the left is where Nana slept. That's Nana Kane's room. So that middle room where Uncle Jim is the room that we all slept in. So that was Uncle Jim,
Crazy.
Uncle Steve, Emmett, me, and Neil at one point. There was a point where there was all 5 of us in there, all 5 of the boys. So 3 girls, 5 boys. 2 girls, Julie, Chris, then Jim, Steve, Emmett, Mike, Neil, all in a row. Then Eileen.
So there's five kids ahead of you. There's,
Well, I'm the
or 5.
6th. Yeah, that's right. Uncle Neil was born August 30th, 1960. Very stormy night. The house across the street from us, so the house across from Burt Street, where Big Brian, Big Brian and Sean, his son, that house. That house.
Are those the guys that live there now?
Those are the guys that live there now, but at that time, 1960, it was a guy named Mike Qualia. He was the dog officer in town, and their house was struck by lightning that night. Their chimney got blown up. Then Auntie Eileen in 1964, and that I was old enough to remember. I can remember her coming home, and that's the story about when she got brought into the house, and we had a little bassinet in that room where the piano is now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she was in the little bassinet, and Uncle Neil and Uncle Emmett and I gathered around it, and Uncle Neil stuck his fingers into Eileen's mouth and did this. It was so funny. We were just cracking up laughing at the little baby face getting. So I would have turned 6 in October of '64. So I was still 5. I was 5 years old, about to turn 6 when I went into 1st grade, and I didn't have summer school. I think I had like 2 weeks. Summer school, it wasn't like a kindergarten type deal. Kindergarten wasn't obligatory or even necessarily available all the time back in those days. I had 2 weeks in a little classroom over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Same building?
No, it wasn't. It was Tiffany School, which is on Thatcher Street.
That you were attending. What was the elementary school?
The elementary school. So 1st grade was at Bliss School. Was at Bliss.
Wow.
That was Bliss, right across from Sturdy.
Okay.
That building's still there, but it's housing now.
Yeah.
I think it would have been my sophomore year, and it was Uncle Jim's band.
Hmm.
It was a band called. They were playing in the Attleboro High School auditorium, and they were. I think the band was called Steel Dog. They were real good musicians. There was this crazy ass lead singer named Bobby McMurray, and Ron Tusignant, the late Ron Tusignant, was on guitar. Uncle Jim was on drums, and a guy named Dave Martin, Motorhead Martin, was on bass. They're all really good players. But Uncle Jim was learning how to play harmonica, and he learned how to play Whammer Jammer, the Jay Giles song. But what it required was somebody to sit in on the drums while he played the harmonica for it. I did one rehearsal, and then we went up and we did it. And actually, Ron Tusignant, the guitar player, had seen me, and he knew I was nervous. He saw me out in the hallway, and he told me Just do what your brother does. Always think about 2 measures ahead, and you'll be fine. And at the time, so Uncle Jim would have been. Let's see, if I was probably, I might have been 15. Uncle Jim would have been 20 by then, or I might have been 14 and he might have been 19. Anyway, so I got out there and I did it, and I got a big hand because I was a high school kid. The very first bar gig, I'm not quite sure. It probably would have been a place called The Village in Norton, owned by a guy named Jerry Tremblay, and whose son Robin Tremblay was friends with Uncle Neil.
That's cool.
He's friends with us too, actually, later on.
Yeah.
That would have been 75, I think.
This guy Tremblay, he's not the one with the mafia connections, right?
No. So that was Dexter Whittington. He owned a place also in Norton that was up on Route 123, right where